Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. I don't have many videos just yet, but more will be coming. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much. Welcome back. I know we are almost in March, and I had my goals written down way back in December, but I was planning to do a physical vision board. However, life has thrown me a few curveballs so far this year, and I just haven't really been feeling like myself, so I decided maybe a digital version would be better, just so that I can get it out the way, get myself motivated, and really get going with 2021. I don't like having things that I haven't gotten done just waiting around for me to get done, and it's almost 3 months into the year, so I want to hurry up and get it done. So I just wanted to go over really quick what's on my vision board. A lot of these goals, keep in mind, they are things that I want to manifest, but obviously I might not get to all of them. However, I want to put them on my vision board because that's what you want to strive for. That's the vision that you have. So I put them up there. I put big numbers up there. Some of them can be obtainable. Some of them I might surpass, and some of them I might not get to, but they're there. So I want to start out first with this corner, which is my Etsy shop and my business corner. So for Etsy, I want to make 50K this year. If I keep going the way I'm going, I'm not getting there. But also, with all the curveballs that life has thrown in my way, I haven't really been giving it my best shot either. So I'm sure if I really put my mind to it, I could potentially get there. Also, with that, I want to open a second Etsy shop, which would be for passive income, so mainly digital downloads and things like that. This is a picture of a sewing room or a craft room, and this year I really want to get my own space for my crafts, for my sewing, for my business. So I just stuck that picture up there. That's one of my greatest goals this year. Also in the picture, there's a serger right here, and I already bought my sewing machine and I've made a few projects with it. But I really want to get a serger this year, and potentially a multi-needle embroidery machine. I've had a single needle in the past, so I know how to work them, but I would really potentially like to get a multi-needle. However, if I don't get it, it's not a big deal. I know it's kind of a far-fetched vision, so I'm not too worried about getting it, but it would be nice to get it this year. Here I have a picture of, it's technically not a poly mailer, but for me, we're gonna pretend like it is, with my logo on it. So I do want to have custom packaging, that's including tissue paper, poly mailers. I already do my own thank you cards and stuff like that, but I want to keep adding to brand my packaging. So that will be one of my goals for this year. I think it's obtainable. I just have to sit down, design it, and get the funds together and place the order. So down here I have YouTube, which my goal is 5K subs this year. If I can reach 1K, I will be extremely happy and grateful. But I want to put up goals on my vision board to force me to strive and work harder to reach them. Here I have Instagram 10K. So I've had a business Instagram for a while, and I don't really have many subscribers. I probably have 100 subscribers. I really never post on there, but I want to get better at it. And 10K, once you get 10K, I don't know if you guys are aware, once you get 10K for businesses, then you have the swipe up feature or the shop now feature. So I want to reach 10K if possible this year. Then I also have a Facebook and a TikTok business pages. I just put that there because I don't want to forget to be consistent and post on all of my social media, not just the ones where I want to grow at. I want to grow on all of them. I have Snapchat and Pinterest here. So I have Snapchat. I've had it for years, but it's a personal Snapchat. So I would like to have a business Snapchat and a business Pinterest. Pinterest, I've barely ever used. I just know how to scroll through there and get ideas, but I've never really had a Pinterest to say like that I'm really active in it and stuff like that. So I would like to not only learn Pinterest, I would also like to get a business Pinterest and grow my business there. So let me go back up here. Oh no, I'm going here. I want to have a Dress by Mia website. This has been on my to-do list, my goals for like 3 years now, or like 2 years, I think. And I have not gotten around to getting a website. Mainly because I didn't have that many listings back then. I don't have a lot of followers on none of my social medias and stuff. So it would be pointless to have a website with no traffic to direct to it. But I am hoping to grow my social medias, and I want to have a website to direct them to, because Etsy charges you fees, and it's not like, I don't consider them to be like an extraordinary amount of fees for the help that you receive getting traffic on Etsy, but every penny counts. So they do start to add up. Those fees add up, and $1 that you could keep in your pocket is $1 you could further invest. So I would like to get my website. Other than that, Etsy could shut you down at any moment, and it's not you're just a business within a larger business. When you have a website, you make the rules, as long as they're ethical, but you have more control over what goes on in your business. So I do want to get a website this year, but first I want to grow my social medias and grow other things and have more of an income, and then I can focus on getting my website. So on this side, it's more of a personal section. So to be a little more specific, to reach all of these goals, I have smaller goals and steps, but I'm not going to put them all on my vision board because it just doesn't make sense. I think that's more for like in my planner, to have my steps of things that I want to achieve and how to get there. So I didn't write everything on here. This is just like a broad vision. But on this side, I put more of personal things that I want to accomplish this year. So we have been pre-approved for a home, which is really one of the things that all of my other goals rely on. Fingers crossed, that all goes through. That is, I need my own space. So a lot of my other goals piggyback on this goal. So this is a very important goal for us to get this home. And hopefully we'll be closing on that soon and things will be in motion. I might do a couple videos on that. I'm not sure just yet, but if everything goes as planned, then I will do some videos on that. So that's this goal. Here is a book. You guys don't know me too well, but for the people that do, I read really fast. And I could probably read a book even when I was working full time, like 6 days a week, and I was out the house for over 14 hours a day. You know, in work hours plus travel time, I was out of the house for from around 1:30, 2 o'clock in the afternoon to about 4 in the morning, sometimes even 5 in the morning. So even when I worked all those hours, I always made time for reading, because I believe that education is a big part of your life and your personal growth. So I read, I mean, all types of books. And I could read a book in a few hours if I chose to, or if it's a little bit of a longer book, or I'm a little more pinched for time, maybe in 2 to 3 days. So every week I was reading easily 5 books. And my goal was to read more than Bill Gates for the year. Of course, he reads, you know, more technical books than I do. Or I could probably read the books he reads, but I haven't really looked into like any medical books or stuff like that. So anyways, my goal was to be Bill Gates. And last year I think I read over 30 books. Probably more. Maybe I read over 50 books. I'm not sure. But then I just stopped reading. Halfway through the year. So I know I could have read a lot of books if I would have kept going the whole year. This year, I have already read, I just started reading like last week, and I'm probably on my 4th book already. But I don't want to put my goal too high, just in case, you know, life has been a little tough. So I just want to read 50 books this year. I know that if I read the way I'm capable of, I mean, I could read way more than that. But every year I want to have like a 50 book goal. A minimum of 50 books. So that's what I've put on my vision board, 50 books. And then here I have a planner or a journal, and I have journaled and I've had planners in the past. I'm not always very consistent with them, but I have used them. And I just want to be more consistent with them. So I put this up here to signify both. And basically, it's also a quote. It says every day is a fresh start. So it does a double function. And I'm happy with that. Going back to my books, and it also has to do with my passive income journey. I would like to write children's books. So for years I've been trying to get my kids to help me out with this, but they're not cooperating. But I would potentially like to do a children's book and like a digital one to sell, maybe a print one. I'm not sure just yet, but I would like to do that. I'm not sure if I'm gonna push that this year or do it in the future, but I always have that in my mind that I want to do like self-help books and also children's books. Children's books, what holds me back is that I'm not very artistic. I'm not very good at drawing and stuff like that. But that's why I wanted to get my kids involved, because if the kids are doing it, it doesn't really matter. You know, their doodles would suffice. But as an adult doing doodles, very bad doodles at that, I'm not sure about that. So yeah, that's another goal within this picture. Sorry if you hear my kids in the background. I've told them to be quiet, but they're not helping right now. Lastly, down here are my stocks. I am a stock trader. I don't say investor because I have very little stocks for like long-term investments, but I do trade. I'm kind of like in between a day trader and a swing trader, but swing trading has worked out better for me as far as not losing money. So I'm more of a swing trader, but I try to sell stocks on a daily basis, so that's why I say I'm a mix in between the two. And right now my goal is $150 a day times 5 days a week. And there's 20 trading days in a month. So if I am able to pull it off $150 a day minimum, then I could pull off 3K a month, which would be about 36K a year. But the stock market has its days. Some days it goes up, some days it goes down. So not every day I'm gonna be able to pull off 150. Just like the other day I pulled off 1,000. So 150 is just the goal. It's just, a goal that I want to get to reach that 3K a month. But like I said, some days I will make $100 and some days I could make $1,000. So that's gonna fluctuate, but I'm not gonna push myself too hard and get too greedy. So I think I've been able to pull off 150 to 175 on a regular basis. So that's why I'm just gonna push for that. And if I could continue with pulling this off, then I can easily get 30K this year in profits on my stocks. So I just want to I want to have different incomes because Etsy might be slow. Like right now, for Christmas, I was making no money in my stocks. I was making like a couple hundred a month. Really, like I only made a few hundred that month. But I wasn't paying too much attention to my stocks either because my Etsy was pretty busy. I went from 0 sales to 50 something sales. I had 50 sales within 2 weeks. So I was pretty busy in December to the point where I was able to shut down my shop and come to vacation. And I mean, I didn't make enough to survive off of it, but from 0 sales to, it was a good start. And then since then, I haven't been pushing my Etsy too much because of life, but I have been paying attention to my stocks and I've been growing there. So I just don't want to depend on just one thing. So that's why I'm trying to grow different streams of income and also have passive incomes because stocks take time. You have to pay attention to them. But usually I could pull off my $150. I wake up 4 or 5 in the morning every day, and before 9 o'clock I could pull off $150 if I don't get greedy. So then I can go ahead and switch to my Etsy and do a few hours on my Etsy. But I don't want to have like 5 incomes where I have to put in hours every single day, like a full shift, because that's not gonna make sense. That's why I put my family up here, because this is not an actual picture of my family, but I put a picture of a family there because I want to remember that the point of working from home and working so hard to grow these incomes is to be able to spend time with my family. So I don't want 5 full-time jobs. That's not what I want. I want to work a few hours on my stocks, work a few hours on my Etsy, and then the rest I want it to be passive income. So those are my plans for 2021. Like I said, these are not steps to reaching these goals. These are just pictures to keep me motivated, keep me grounded, and this I will have as the background on my computer, and I use my computer all day, every day, so it's something to keep me motivated, focused, and just to help me brainstorm and to help me just keep going. Anyways, this is way longer of a video than I thought it was gonna be. I talked a lot, but I hope you enjoyed it, and I made this vision board on Canva. I have a video showing how I use Canva to make different things like thank you cards, business cards, banners, stuff like that. Check it out if you haven't already. It wasn't too tough to make. You just gotta play around with Canva a little bit, but it's not too hard to make it. But anyways, yeah. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for hearing my ranting and my babbling, and I hope to be making more videos soon for you guys. Check me out on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Message me on Discord if you have any questions, or leave them down in the comments. And I'll see you guys next time. Thanks, guys. Bye.